What's happening?
Got somebody in there gonna come speak to y'all folks today.
Yeah, man, it's D&D Dialect. We are officially live once again, y'all.
Getting it popping.
You already know. Waiting for our guys to come in. Welcome.
What
What's
up, though?
happening?
Finna get crunk.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. We got a special treat, y'all. To be honest, if we could be honest with y'all, we have not officially met Mr. Miller tonight. So this is going to be extremely...
No. Chef. Executive.
I'm sorry.
Chef.
There he goes. He's in the building.
Executive chef. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, hang on. We went through this last week, y'all. What's happening? Hey, everybody. Let's see. How do I do it? Let's see. There we go. Okay.
I don't know why we nervous.
What's happening? He's coming in. I think I accepted him. There he is.
There, the man of the hour.
What's going
There
on?
it is. What's going on, Chef Miller?
Both of you.
Man,
Hey.
proud and obliged to have you
Yes,
on
thanks.
tonight.
I appreciate it. Let's get it.
Let's get it. What's going on? So listen, I told you before when we were talking. Yeah, let's do this. When we were talking earlier, I told you I have 5 questions for you. Now let me tell you something. We flow here, okay? There's no script. We only ask that you be yourself, okay? You don't have to say anything any particular way. Just simply be you, okay?
Yeah.
I got 5 questions. Now, Mr. Fred, he's a little loose. He's a hothead.
You just throw it out there.
Yeah.
Yes,
He just throws it all out there. So
yes, sir.
So my first question, Mr. Miller, is who is Anthony Miller? Can you tell us all who is the fabulous Mr. Anthony Miller?
Miller is a people's person. Anthony Miller is a lover of food and beverage. Anthony Miller is somebody who enjoys to develop people and make a difference in people's life. That's who I am. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Word. Okay.
He sounds right up.
Yeah, like this nice.
He almost remind me of me.
Yeah,
see, we gonna get along. We gonna get along.
So will you let everyone know, Mr. Miller? So wait, first of all, is it Anthony or
Anthony
Mr. Miller? What would you like?
That's what I go by. Yeah.
Okay,
yes,
Anthony Miller. Okay,
yes,
so Anthony Miller, will you let the world know where you are plugging in from tonight?
Dallas, Texas, where I'm born. Dallas.
Oh.
Dallas.
Okay,
We don't talk about football. Don't even ask me about that.
We in how can I talk about
we
football?
moved some furniture up in this room. We can't talk about that. But yeah, I'm coming to you from Dallas, Texas, where I was born and raised. And
sir.
yeah, I
just
moved back to Dallas a few months ago, and I started my own business, and it's going fantastic. Fantastic.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So, Mr. Miller,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna ask my question. Like I said, I just free flowing. To all these entrepreneurs out here that's trying to be in the food industry, what could you tell them about the ups and downs that they may have to face and overcome to make their dream come true?
First thing, you got to trust in God. If you don't trust in God, or you don't believe in God, you're gonna have some problems. And I don't know how to fix your problem with that.
Yes, sir.
You got to trust in God. You got to pray up. You got to have confidence in yourself, and you also have to work on your skills. Everybody has a talent, but just because you have it doesn't mean you're going to keep it. You've got to sharpen it every single day. You've got to work at it. You've got to do things that other people don't do. That's going to keep you sharp. It's going to keep you ready to go. You have to have thick skin. There are going to be times where you're dealing with people with different personalities, or they have a different way of seeing things, and it's going to affect you in a way. But you got to have thick skin. You got to move on. Sometimes you're going to make mistakes. Sometimes you don't know what you're going to do or how you're going to do it. That's okay. That's all right. Don't ever feel like if you don't know, you don't have a business plan, you want to open up a business, somebody's telling you got to have a business plan before you can open this up, and you see an opportunity, jump. While you're in the air, you'll figure it out before
Yes.
before you hit the ground, which you won't hit the ground because of the simple fact that you're going to find a way to survive. So trust in yourself, believe in yourself,
Okay.
you know, sharpen your skills, and never give up. Never give up. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Emphasis
sir.
on
Never
never
give up.
giving up.
Even when you lose the tip of your tongue, you say, I can't do this. You know what? Drink something, relax, drink a glass of water, relax. Just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go at it again.
Yes,
Tomorrow's
sir.
a new day. Never give up. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So basically what he just told everybody that's on his live, believe in yourself.
That's
no
the
matter
key.
what happens. Believe in what you can do
Hey,
and succeed.
exactly.
Yeah,
Because
man, no other
everybody is
option.
talented in something. And you may not think that
Yes.
you know that you're good at something. So whatever you're good at, be the best at it and believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself deep down inside, no one else is going to be. Even if they're your wife, your girlfriend, your best friend, it starts with you first. Then the people around you will help you, will guide you and direct you and point you in the direction of where you need to go. But it starts with you. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, totally. It's you know, and when you talk about being an entrepreneur, right? And like you brought up the pros and cons, because we talk about it all the time. A lot of people
Yes.
get so strung up on titles, right? Like just the title of entrepreneur or title of, you know, you're executive chef. That is an honor. You know, salute to you. We did our homework. You have decades of just work and just killing it internationally, which we'll get to that. But long story short, you know, people give up because of the pros, you know what I mean? And so I love how you brought up, you know, and good question, babe, like simply pushing through because it gets tough. Like, no, it's so much more than a title. A title is the least
you'll find,
of the matter, but excellent.
When you become an entrepreneur, you do everything. I mean, forget about your little titles before. You used to work for a company, you used to be executive that.
Yep.
When you own your own business, you're whatever it takes to get the job done, to make money, to keep the staff happy, to keep the guests, the customers happy. So you really don't have a title. If you get hung up on your title, you're missing where you're going because your job is to keep it rolling and bring people around you or put people around you that are able to help you to be successful. So there's really no title to that. You're the boss, but still you're the jack of all trades.
Mr. Miller, I tell them the same thing because we have, like, I have a trucking company. I have no problem driving my truck, doing what I have to do. I have no title in this.
Yes.
I go out there, I fix things. I put stuff together. I go in there with my pallet jack it up. There's no title in this. And people get confused on title. This is a business. And if you're really about it, you have to show the people that are coming aboard what an example is. And who else to show an example of your business
and the most
than yourself?
Important thing, this is the most important thing. After you've prayed and you've handed it over to the Almighty, your reputation.
Yes, sir.
Do not give up. Do not don't put your reputation on the crap table or don't throw it in a casino somewhere. Do not put your reputation at risk for anybody. So when you get tied up into titles and all those kind of things can still happen, right? Even with that title. But when you start thinking about my reputation, when I'm doing something, if I depend on Mark to do it and I know he can't do it, well, I'll just fire him or I'll get rid of him. Well, guess what? Your reputation just took a hit because you knew he couldn't do it and you didn't help him or you didn't step in when you should because you said, well, I'm at a higher level and I shouldn't do those kind of things. So remember, your reputation is what carries you. Before you even arrive, people know who you are.
Yes, sir.
And that is what you need to keep your business going, a good reputation.
Oh, absolutely. You hit that on the head.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, and babe, you probably want to answer this too. We got a question that came in. The question was, y'all gotta excuse me. I can't even get back to it, but I'm gonna summarize what the question was. The question was in something similar to how do you find good people when you're trying to, I guess, expand to employees. We have employees, so we can share some tips. I guess it was tips on if you trying to expand to employees, what are some tips on finding and I guess connecting with good people? I'm assuming that's correct because I got a
good question, especially after COVID. We all know how the world has changed. All I can say is that you have to look for people in the surrounding of places that you feel comfortable with. So if you like going to a particular store, let's say, you know, some type of hardware store, and you realize that there's somebody there who has really good customer service skills, somebody who's very personable, somebody who stands out, or you go to your favorite grocery store and in the produce area, there's a supervisor who's very personable and very professional. Those are the people you need to pick for. You need to look for people in areas that you feel comfortable being in. And, you know, you can put ads out there and you know how things go. It's very difficult finding people that are dedicated. And another word we have to talk about tonight is passion. You know, if you're finding employees that have
let's get it.
It's very difficult. So if you can find those people that have passion in doing things that has to do with customer service and they already have a skill, those are the type of employees that you need to look for. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna add to that. My husband will tell you when we were hiring, when we go through trying to add people to the team, I'll tell him like that person doesn't have that, what I call it, a fire. It's really passion is the word I'm looking for. But I'm like, no, babe, it's not gonna work because they don't have it's a passion. So when you're connecting with people, you're gonna know because when you share your vision with them and you share what you're trying to do with them, they kind of just like see it too in a weird way, and they just light up and it kind of flows together. And that's how our team works. That's how I know, you know, he knows. I'll tell him like, babe, it's not they don't have that connection and it's passion. That's absolutely right. I agree with that 100%.
That passion, Mr. Miller, you hit everything on the head, because me personally, I know, just like you said, with COVID and everything, resumes are something that as a business owner, you really can't feed into that.
Yes.
So I get your resume because you're interested, but the thing, I listen to your dialogue. I see I ask you questions where you're trying to go. I see what you can bring to the table. That really tells me and shows me what your passion is, because really with a resume, you're going to build that up to try to get a job. I don't want nobody that just wants a job.
Yeah.
I want somebody that's going to come in here, that's going to be able to try to walk in all the steps of this business. And me, I'm the type of person, I'm not going to just hold you to my business. If I see you have the knowledge and the skill set and the mindset to step out, I can lead you and guide you to that.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. See, everybody getting this, oh, I don't want to tell him, I don't want to show him, I don't want to do this when it comes to interviewing and showing people stuff. This is just a stepping stone, because I know deep down inside, nobody really wants to be an employee for the rest of their lives.
No, you shouldn't want to.
So, I mean, there's enough out here for me, my wife, Mr. Miller, and you guys
you
too.
hit it right on the nose. I mean, there's so much opportunity right now. This is the best time in the history of America right now to get a fair share at your piece of the pot right now. So there's no reason why you can't start your business. You can't do what you got to do to be successful and find the right people. It takes a little time, and sometimes you got to use psychology. I suggest people reading books. I like Robert Greene. I read a lot of his books, 48 Laws of Power, 33 Laws of War, The Art of War, all those kind of things, right? It teaches you how to interpret what you see, because what you see is not always the truth. So when you're interviewing people, realistically, you should have a good idea within 5 minutes whether or not you know, whether or not
yes, sir.
they're for you or not. Yes.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
So is
all
it
right,
my question?
You want one? I got one too. You want
one? Oh, see, Mr. Miller, like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was so happy and thrilled when she told me who was gonna be on here, because you talking to a person with high blood pressure. So I said, I'm gonna ask him for me. What do you suggest me doing and eating to help lower my high blood pressure?
Yes.
Because they tell me that it's with my food, because I drink enough water. So it's still not changing. So what do you suggest as a chef that I should do to try to help drop
First thing you have to do, you have to back away from all processed foods. Now you say, well, what is processed food? When you go to a store, you go to the freeze, the frozen area, and you pull out a box that has frozen pizza or even French fries or something that's a pre-made dinner. That is processed food. Try to stay away from the chips, the snacks. All of those things have MSG. They're high in sodium, you know, and that is probably your biggest problem, is your sodium intake. You also want to change whatever kind of salt you use. You want to stay away from seasoned salt. You want to use sea salt, and also use coarse grain salt, which is bigger grains. So it's highly unlikely you can over season something so easily. And you can even use, they have a pink salt, Malaysian pink salt that's out there that has less sodium content. Stay away from the refined sugar, the refined salt. Try to buy fresh produce, fresh vegetables. And, you know, get in the kitchen. It's good for you to cook, you know, some of your food. That way you know what's in it. When you go to a fast food restaurant and you're buying food, whether it's burgers or sandwiches or whatnot, it's high in sodium, a lot of MSG, and a lot of processed, you know, ingredients that are added to the food to make it taste so good. So you want to stay away from fast food. You want to, you know, shop it at famous grocery stores that have organic produce, that have, you know, really nice butcher shops. You want to look at freshness. Try to limit your amount of processed items that you buy, and that should help you a lot. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you. We've been working on it. Well, not we. We as in the partner, because I'm chef too. You know, well, not your chef, but you know what I mean. So we've been. It's the whole household thing. So thank you, chef. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
I got notes. Like, I didn't write it, but I heard you. Trust me, I got you. I'm on it.
Yes.
Okay, you ready for my question? You released the book, correct? Tom Kitty. Okay. Take a second. Take us down that journey. What is Tom Kitty? How did it come about? Where can they get it?
About, I would say 10 years ago, I was talking to somebody and they asked me what have I done most of my career, and I explained, you know, some of the places that I worked, and the conversation was about 2.5 hours. So I said, you know what, I should really write a book, and or at least write down some of these stories, because you know it's interesting, I guess. You know, the person was blown away by the conversation. So I said I wanted to write a book, and 10 years later, I decided to write a book. And I wrote a book during COVID. I was, of course, at home all day because I was actually laid off for some time. And I got together all my notes and started putting my journals together, and I started writing. And writing is not easy for somebody who doesn't write. So I'm not going to say that I'm this fabulous writer and I had all this experience before. But one thing I do have is passion, and I figured that I can figure out the rest of it. So I started to write, and I started to shop it around during COVID to several literary agencies, and 2.5 years later, nobody bid on it. So I decided I was going to self-publish through Amazon, and we put the book together, me and my best friend and another assistant, and then we realized that there was some issues when we released the book originally, which was about 3 months ago. Okay. And all of that's been fixed. It was just basically the formatting and a little bit of the editing. So the book is called Tom Kitty, Kitchen Stories. It is a memoir about my life, 25 years of being a cook, becoming an executive chef. I was an executive chef or still an executive chef, but I've been an executive chef for 17 years. But it talks about the journey becoming an executive chef, working in many states, many cities, and then also working overseas, South Africa and a few other places that I was actually able to be a part of, Norway. The book is a 25-year journey, you know, starting when I was probably about 6 years old till I was 15, and then all the way up, you know, and it describes how I looked at food. The title has a meaning to it. So when you read the book, you'll understand right away why it's called Tom Kitty, Kitchen Stories. But it's 27 chapters of my life, and I'm very proud of it. And it's on Amazon right now. It's live, ready to go on Kindle, or I have also paperback and hardback available. So it's a very interesting story. I've gotten some good reviews from it, so I'm very excited about it. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. I got to go grab it. Go check it out.
You can find it. I'm even a reader. You got that in like audio?
I am going to do audio because there are a lot of stories in the book that I just have to like say it, because the reader, even though I think it's written in a way to where you can understand that, you know, different, I call them characters. Many people in the book that were character people that I met, and everybody had a story. So the book talks about different characters in the book. I want to do an audio because I like imitating people's voices. So, you know, I think it's going to be really good. I'm going to do that this year, definitely, with the book.
Oh, you better go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
I want to hear the audio, because the audio, I get the passion coming out of you.
Yeah.
See, I'm the type of person that when I hear the passion coming out of the writer, I try to relate myself and figure out inside of myself, what do I need to do to try to get to that point? Because I know there's a lot of people out here that's looking up to you. Yeah. And they just heard what you said, and I guarantee you that it's going that light bulb just went off.
Everyone
and you don't
has
even know.
A story. And there are people that they could write a book tomorrow and it'd probably be a bestseller. And it's because they just never thought that they would ever write a book, or maybe they don't like writing. If you do like writing, you do like expressing and telling a story, you know, I recommend everybody to tell your story. Everybody has an interesting story that can help somebody else out. This book does have a hook, and it's something that's, you know, very intimate to me as an African-American chef. You know, I mean, anyone out there could probably name 10 celebrity chefs that are white, and if I asked you to name 2 celebrity chefs that are black, you'd probably stumble. You know what I'm saying? So that's the point of this. Part of the point of this book is to say that African Americans are fantastic chefs. We're able to cook any type of cuisines all over the world, and you know, for an African American becoming an executive chef, we are still major minorities. We make up approximately 6% of all head chefs. I'm not talking about sous chef. I'm saying executive chef, the food and beverage executive, the director. In the food and beverage industry, we make up about 6% of African American chefs in the industry, with over 15 million people that work in the food and beverage industry. Maybe those numbers are a little bit low because these numbers were before COVID, but we are still a major minority for executive chefs in the business. Yeah.
Man, keep paving the way, man.
He stole my question.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got you.
He stole he like answered it already. Like, so I can't even. So now I gotta wait.
I got one for you. Okay. I have 2 more left. 2 more, and that's it. I promise. Okay. The first one is, I seen a quote on your website, and it was from you, and you said that enjoying good food is a great part of living a good life. And if you, of course, hear my videos, you hear our videos and all that other stuff where we are motivating, obviously telling people to live their best life daily. Can you explain to us what you mean by enjoying good food is a great part of living a good life?
Because food is something that you should live to eat. I mean, you should enjoy having a meal. If you eat something and you feel sick after you ate because you ate too much, that's not enjoying life. You know, food is life. Life is enjoying every experience with food. So what I'm saying is that food is a substance that is life, and it should be something that you enjoy with your families, with your friends. It's something that is intimate to everybody, so you have to treat it that way. So that means that you need to be picky. You should just eat anything, and once you create a standard, you know, of what you eat and what you like, you're going to realize how much your body is going to be happier with that. Your mind and body are going to be strong, and you're going to feel like an even better person because you eat with consciousness, right? So that's basically what I was saying.
I like it, man. I'm feeling it.
Wow.
I got one question left. What you got?
You go ahead.
Okay, I'm good. Okay.
Yes.
Ready for me? You ready? This is the last one. Okay. So because this topic is about diving, right? Yes. So I read that you do diving. I absolutely hate water. Well, deep water. It's a phobia that I've been working on since last summer. I began swimming and, you know, trying to get over it. You don't believe in fear here, right? So can you share, cut it out, cut it out, cut it out, cut it out, cut it out. Okay, so we're live and we have a guest.
Yes.
Okay, so sorry, y'all. Long story short, can you share an interesting experience that you had? Please, I got it here.
Well, diving is probably one of the most fascinating feelings I've ever experienced. Scuba diving. I got into scuba diving because I went to Mexico, and I think it was Cozumel, and I was snorkeling, and there were people scuba diving underneath me, and I was like, that'd be fun to be underneath the water, not on top of the water. And I went to a school at the time. I was living in North Carolina, and I went to school as a 3-month school, and I got my certification, and I've been diving ever since. That was 1995 is when I was certified. Diving is the most incredible thing. Not only the feeling of being underwater, but you're in a different atmosphere. You're in a different world when you're underwater. Your voice doesn't matter anymore. Where you're from or who you are doesn't matter anymore. You're in a different environment, and it just humbles you. One of the things that I've experienced being a diver is the amount of people that you meet. It's just like any kind of sport that you're involved in. You meet people that love the same thing. For golfers out there, I mean, just think about how many people you meet on the course there that you become friends with. Well, diving is the same way. So I would have to say the experiences, learning about marine life and the people that you meet. Diving is what's the most fascinating thing about diving to me.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Okay. Well,
I'm done.
I've heard all of the hats that you wear, and it seems like you're passionate about all of the hats. But if you had to tell me your best hat, which one would it be, and why are you so much more passionate about that hat?
Wow, that's a real good question. My best hat is actually cooking. I'm in a different world when I'm cooking. I mean, it's like my world. It's like I can barely hear what's around me. I would rather for other people to do the PR work and to do all the marketing and all that stuff, and the silly little meetings you got to be in for hours and hours and all those kind of things. I would rather cook a gourmet meal, 5-6 courses for a family of whatever status, and I'm happy with that because I know that they're getting something that cannot be repeated because it's coming from me as an art. Someone else will be able to do it, and maybe they do it better. But the point is, it's my art to them. So that's what I still like getting my hands dirty. I'm not the sit behind the desk guy. Yes.
We like working with the kids. Like, hands on. Man. I love it. You are fascinating. Listen. What a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, let's go to Dallas. I got to link up with him.
Yeah,
come on to Dallas, man. It's a great city. It's booming. The economy's booming. Everything is really good here, except for our, I won't even go there. Our Cowboys. But other than that,
that is hilarious. Man. Listen, before we check out, just give people one more time where they could follow you at, how they can reach you, how they can get some of your food.
Okay.
Let the world know.
Okay, so I own a private executive chef company called Actual Foods. And what I do is do private dining, catering, special parties, special engagements for clients, right? So it's scheduled type things. We actually go into your house and turn your kitchen into a gourmet kitchen and prepare a meal of any level. I'm on Instagram, Actual Foods, at Actual Foods. I also write poetry, which is poems by Anthony Miller, which is on Instagram. And that's something it was just something going on during COVID. And I just started to publish some poetry that I've written. And then I started to get in thoughts of the day and things like that. I have a webpage, which is chefanthonymiller.com. So you can contact me by any of those platforms. Also Facebook, Anthony Miller on Facebook, and DM me for any information or any questions about service. So, and of course, Tom Kitty, we've got to show that one more time. Check it out on Amazon. The book's going well, and I'm sure that it's going to be a good read for you. Yes.
Yeah, let's get it.
Hey, Tom Kitty, you better go in there and come on, people. Let's go to Tom Kitty on Amazon. Let's get these sales up.
Let's go.
This brother got knowledge, wisdom, and everything he's trying to put out here to you. Let's support.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure,
It's been a wonderful pleasure.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us, guys. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Octavia.
You did the best.
Absolutely. We will follow up soon, guys. Listen, you guys have a blessed. You guys have a blessed evening. We are sending love and hugs to your homes, to your kids, to your families, over your jobs, everything. May we all prosper.
Amen.
In Jesus' name.
That's it.
Let's get it. Peace.
Fantastic. Take care. Good night.